Hello? So my microphone was on the whole time and nobody decided to mention. Come on! Oh, right, okay. Right, okay. Are we on? Are we on now? Can you hear me? Wait. There we are. Yes, you can hear me. Right, sorry about that. I had loads of technical issues, but feel free to hit a like on the video if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. George, thanks so much for tuning in. Rich, thanks so much for tuning in. St. Columba, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the subscribe. Barry Davenhill, thank you so much for tuning in. Jeff, thank you so much for tuning in. And Liverpool Legend, thank you so much for tuning in. So yeah, I set it to have like a what's it called? Like it to go live at a certain time, and it's not worked. So hopefully now my thumbnail is what I want it to be. I will check. But yes, that's why I'm a little bit behind. So I didn't turn my microphone off. Next time I should do it from straight away. I should just do it my normal way. Right, okay. So yeah, so thanks so much everyone who's tuned in. I really do appreciate it. Get the other headphone in so I can hear what's going on in the football. So it'll be interesting to see how the game goes. I'm looking forward to this one. I might do both. I might do both games. Go nuts and do both games. We shall see. We shall see. So yeah, first half will be kicking off underway soon. Is it the same Saint that used to come in the streams, or is it a different Saint? I think a draw. Yeah, I've gone for a 1-0 Leicester win in this game. So that is what I am predicting, but obviously I could be totally wrong. Totally wrong. Same one. Thanks so much for tuning back in. It's been like a year at least. It's been a while. Thanks so much for tuning in. So we'll go through the team lineups. We'll go through the team lineups now. I just need to get the team lineups. See Jake Livermore there. So he's obviously playing. There is a game later, Tottenham versus Everton. That's going to be one to look forward to. I might do that stream. It depends on how I'm feeling. It depends how tired I am. Johnston is in goal for West Brom. A back four of Gibbs, back five, sorry. Gibbs and Furlong are the wing backs. Back three of Bartley, Ajayi, and this is a proud moment for me. The first Hereford FC player to play in the Premier League since reforming. Dara O'Shea will be taking to the field for West Brom. Dan Garner, Sawyers, Livermore and Pereira, who was very, very good in the Championship. And Robinson is up front, who is resigned from Sheffield United. Leicester City's side is as follows. Schmeichel is in goal. James Justin, Ndidi, Soyuncu and I'm going to butcher this. I think it's Castine. So he plays left back. He's a replacement for Ben Chilwell, who's of course moved on to Chelsea. Pratt, Tielemans are just ahead of Mendy, and then Perez and Barnes either side of Jamie Vardy. 2 on Leicester. I say a 1-1 draw to Liverpool Legend. So a mixture of predictions. So the benches are Austin, Button, Edwards, Grosicki, Harper, Hegazi and Hal Robson-Kanu. The bench for Leicester are Brighton, Chowdhury, Fuchs, Iheanacho, Maddison, Luke, Thomas, who has come through the youth team, And Danny Ward, the goalkeeper, signed from Liverpool a couple of years ago. Players out. Zohore and Townsend are both out. Benkovic, Evans, Wes Morgan and Pereira are out for Leicester. Ricardo Pereira. And I'm expecting them to struggle, West Brom. That's my personal opinion. I think they will struggle, so yeah. Why has Robinson gone to West Brom? I think it's just because he obviously enjoyed his time there on loan, and I'm expecting him to play a bit more. He wasn't wanted anymore by Sheffield United. If West Brom lose this, does that mean all promoted teams have lost the opening games? Yeah, it will actually mean that. Yeah, it will mean that. I went on a free. I'm not sure, but obviously he's not wanted. Didn't they sign somebody? No, they signed somebody. They exchanged him, didn't they, for Ollie Burke? So that's probably why. Yeah, so do you think people were shocked at Leeds yesterday? Leeds played really, 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 really well. Really well. And it was great to see somebody really, really, really go at him and really go at Liverpool and see what they can do against them. And to be fair to Bielsa, I was expecting him to do well, and that's exactly what he did. He did absolutely fantastic. Put his side together, and he probably deserved a draw. It was a really, really, really good game. One of the best games on the opening day we've seen for a while. It was comparable to Arsenal 4, Leicester 3 a couple of years ago, and Arsenal 3, Liverpool 4 that I was talking about back in 2016. So those two games were really, really good, and that game on the opening day certainly lives up to the billing. That was a great, great, great game of football. I feel like people took credit away from Leeds and instead talked about how awful Liverpool were, but Leeds were brilliant. Salah was the difference. He scored a good goal, Salah, right? I'm not denying that. However, he did score 2 penalties, so there's problem with the netting. However, yeah, Liverpool were a little bit shaky, and I heard on Match of the Day, I watched Match of the Day earlier, and they said that they conceded all 3 shots on target, which is very, very strange for Liverpool. Very, very strange. And you think how well drilled they usually are. Very, very weird. Leeds were unlucky. Yes, Leeds are definitely unlucky. They're just taking the knee. And there we are. And game is underway. Finley Edmund, thank you so much for subscribing. Finley Edmund's number 17. Really do appreciate it. So game is kicked off. I will just. I don't know where that's coming from. I will have to look at why that's happening, because I'm not sure why it's happening. I must have Streamlabs somewhere on one of these pages. One of my scenes must have another thing, and that's what must be happening. So if you do hear the ba-ding and then you hear another ba-ding, then it's just the one has registered it, and then another one has registered it. But the main one is the one that comes on the screen. That's the one you need to worry about. Hi, mate. Hi, Cosvlogs. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you are a fan of Fleetwood Town, which I'm sure not many of you are, because Fleetwood is a very, very small team. But yeah, what a great rise from level 9 to the obviously League 1. And Nathan Pond, who I've seen very many times, is such a good player. And he went from the 9th tier to League 1, I think. So yeah, it's a great channel, so feel free to go and check him out. 72 away from 5,500, so very close to 5,500 subscribers. So go and check him out if you haven't already. You can't actually go to channel anymore on the chat. You have to type them in, which is quite frustrating. Hi to Peanut Butter Banana, thanks so much for tuning in. How are you, Kelly and Alfie? So yeah, we're all okay. Alfie's asleep. He's asleep here. Probably can't see him, but yeah, he's asleep. I'd rather have the best attack than the best defence. There is a saying that good attacks win games, but good defences win titles. I'd rather Liverpool have a better attack than defence, but that's just because I want to see them be entertaining. I don't want to see like them win 1-0 and stuff. I don't want to watch that. But if Liverpool are going to win every game 4-3, then that would be absolutely fantastic, and I'd watch every single game. Is Ched Evans still at Fleetwood? I think he is. I think he scored a couple of times against Wigan in the what's it now? Carabao Cup. I think he scored a couple of times for there. So he's been there for a while. Obviously, he was in prison for a while and then got released. And then he had his sentence squashed, which is pretty important. So he wasn't. He wasn't guilty of what he spent time in prison for, which we're not going to go into. However, yeah. So now he plays for Fleetwood under Joey Barton, which I think both come through at Manchester City. So that's maybe where they know each other from. Either way, it's not really important. Yeah, that wasn't a very nice situation. I remember watching a video because he was like parading his own innocence, which according to law he was innocent. Obviously, you don't know these situations, but and his girlfriend or partner or wife or whoever was there with him, and she looks absolutely devastated. It's like, why are you sticking by him? He's cheated on you, regardless of whatever. He's cheated on you, and that's not nice, man. Callum, thanks so much for tuning in, dude. How you doing, my friend? Here is James Justin, and very well done by West Brom. So we've got to keep an eye out for number 27. I'm good. How are you, Mike? I'm doing okay. I've been to work this morning, for those that don't know. I got up at 5:30 this morning and went to work. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. But you got to be done. Got to go to work. It's early start, really early start. Salah started like a steam train yesterday. Yeah, I mean, what a better way to open your account for the season than scoring a hat-trick, of course. I feel like it was a great game. If that's a sign to come, then I'm a little bit concerned about me saying that Liverpool are going to win the title. But having said that, I don't think City have strengthened enough to make any sort of impact. So I think it could be open. I was watching the kickoff last night with Drew Geordie, Hugh Wizzy, Lawrence McKenna and Rory Jennings, and Rory reckoned that it would be quite a low points total this season. So the last 3 seasons have been 99, of course, Liverpool, 98 with Manchester City, and 100 with Manchester City as well, which are all ridiculously high points totals. And maybe it will be a lower points total. There's no team. Obviously, you think City and Liverpool are going to stand out, but there's no teams that you think, they're not miles above. Salah could carry us like he did the 17-18 season. That was when you finished 4th, but finished in the final of the Champions League, but finished runners up, wasn't it? Yes, yeah. That was great watching Liverpool. Liverpool were great, and that is absolutely terrible from Ndidi, and that's going to be a corner kick to Leicester. He just put it out for a corner. I see this points total being 90 to 95 points. That's probably... It might do it. 89 points will win the league this year. Fulham have the worst centre-back partnership in league history. They were poor. They were really, really poor yesterday. I'm very concerned about it. I feel like they need to strengthen. But I can understand their caution. I really, really, really can. I can really understand their caution in not going nuts in the transfer window like they had previously, and signing all those players, and that didn't work out. So I really, really understand that. I really understand them not going mental in the transfer window. However, I think they need to do a little bit more business and work out where they need strengthening, because they were so poor. So poor. Surely I would be very surprised. I will be very, very surprised if Scott Parker is there at the end of the season. I would be very surprised if Scott Parker's there in January, to be fair, because they look so, so poor. And you can't judge it off one game. But it wasn't good viewing. And I know they were playing Arsenal, but it wasn't good viewing. I think, hi, I'm a United fan. Hi, United forever. Thanks so much for tuning in, dude. I support a team called Hereford who play in the National League North. They currently have 11 players. 6 of them are injured. One of them's been told to leave. And one of them is a coach and is really, really old. So that's who I support. My favourite Premier League team is Manchester City. But I cover all football on the channel. Well, I say I cover all football. I cover just Premier League on the channel. And then some like English football mainly. Robinson puts the ball across. Oh, great chance. Pulls it back and it's behind for a corner. Furlong couldn't get into a real scoring chance, and he moved it slightly wide. But he did cut it back, and there was no one. There was no one there to cut it back to, but has gone off a Leicester player for a corner. How have Leicester started? I haven't really been paying too much attention, but it's been fairly like quiet start. Indeed, he looks a bit shaky from what I've seen at the back because he is playing at centre back. Padster YT, I think that's tune in. How you doing, my friend? Who do you support? Oh my god, your team has just finished. Yeah, it's not great. We've lost 3. We've played 6 friendlies. We've lost 4. We've won 1 and we've drawn 1, which is crap, isn't it? It's really bad. Really, really, really bad. I'm still annoyed at how they bottled top 4 to Man United. Them getting top 4 was the only bad thing that happened last season. Manchester United looked very, very good at the end of the season. They brought in Fernandes in January, and he was a real, real big difference maker. And of course, he had the long break, which allowed him to embed a little bit more into Manchester culture and things like that. And he did look very, very good. And I think overall, you can't argue that they don't deserve to be in the top 4. Leicester was there for such a long time though, so it's difficult. Salah or Mane? If I was going to sign one, I would sign, I don't know, I think Mane's a better all-round player, but I think Salah is just such a good goal scorer, and that's what I'm drawn to, so I'd probably go to Salah. Doesn't look good. No, it'll sort itself out. Good game yesterday. Very, very good game. Every night I used to have an academy at my college in Birmingham. Very nice. I'm not sure why, because not many people come through the academy. Both defences were awful. It was a great game. I thought Leeds looked very shaky. The keeper in particular, I was a little bit afraid of. But yeah, really well. How well did Harrison do for that? For the equaliser, for the first equaliser? Really good. And Click's goal equaliser to make it 3-3 was also very, very good as well. And Salah's goal as well. Bruno's one of the best players in the league now. I probably wouldn't give him that mantle, but you know, maybe after a full season and he does the same, he's maybe we'll see. We'll shock a lot of this team this season. I totally agree. I hope you totally agree. What do you think of Blaze will do this season? I think you'll stay up, but I think you'll struggle. It's just a case of if Wilder does well, you'll stay up. It's just a case of how Wilder does. If Wilder goes for whatever reason, then it's over. I think he'll go down. But I think Wilder's good enough to keep you up. But at some point, somebody's going to knock on his door and want him. And it's just a case of... I say that, but Sean Dyche did a great job. But I suppose it's a different style of football. And that's what we got to keep in mind. Van Dijk, I thought, was too overconfident. He had a nightmare for one of the goals, didn't he? Was it the Bamford goal? Very poor. Harrison is rapid and his footwork was good. I couldn't believe it. Because I watched him before and I wasn't overly impressed, but he looked sublime for that goal. I hate Leeds, but I have a soft spot for Bielsa and Harrison. Interesting. I really like Bielsa. I think you're just a bit like Pep. Absolutely just lives, breathes, and that's all he cares about is football. To like a ridiculous degree. Perez looking to knock it over. Pratt pulls it back and Bartley will get it away. Liverpool legend, why do you hate my team so much, Man United? Oh, because you're a fan of St. Helens or something, and I used to think you were a Southampton fan at the start. Leeds are the most hated team in the league right now. I probably wouldn't go to that extent. Certainly not by me anyway. Is Vardy in your EPL? So I assume you mean the fantasy football team. Unfortunately, I don't do fantasy football just because you can make transfers and transfer people in and move stuff, and I won't remember to do that. I barely remember to do the Super 6. So no, I don't really remember to do stuff like that, unfortunately. But maybe if I got a bit bigger, I could do like a league or something. If that's something that someone's interested in, let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, I'd love a like and subscribe, of course, if you are new. If you have your subscriptions on public, there should be a notification pop up on the screen, which is cool. Most hated team right now is Chelsea. Depends what you mean by right now. Depends what you mean by right. If you mean like overall, you'd have to say Liverpool or Manchester United, and it will probably be that way for a long time. And maybe Manchester City, but I don't think it's anywhere near on the scale as the other two, because they're just not. They're not as anywhere near as hated. Is Leeds versus Sheffield United a Yorkshire derby? So it would be considered a Yorkshire derby just because they're both from Yorkshire. Similarly, that Fulham versus Millwall would be considered a London derby, but it doesn't mean that there's any sort of prevalence there. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Rich, but I've never really heard of it because Leeds have their rivalry with Manchester United. Oh, Furlong is fouled there by James Justin. It's just outside the penalty area, and I think he will get a yellow card for that. And it will be a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. Furlong doing very well with running down the channel. Oh, James Justin signed from Luton a few years ago. Liverpool Leeds are the most hated team in the league, followed by Manchester United and Chelsea. Leeds are 4th or 5th, or even lower. Don't know how many hate Leeds. The thing is, this is going to sound really, really, really horrible, but Leeds haven't been irrelevant. Haven't been relevant like in the Premier League for such a long time that people growing up like me, I can remember Leeds in the Premier League. However, people younger than me can't, so they don't really have the same affinity for Leeds as people growing up in the 80s would have for Leeds. They would dislike Leeds a lot more. Like if Sunderland really, really were in the League One for ages, then people growing up in Newcastle wouldn't realise how big of a derby that is, if that makes sense, because they wouldn't have played each other for such a long time. Yeah, but there's no hate. Man United are hated by many teams' fans. Everyone hates Man United. I don't think anyone's like, oh, Man United, I really like them. Dean Garner stood over this free kick. There is 4 in the wall. And it's off the wall and behind for a corner. Looks like it was off Vardy or Tielemans. Leeds have a rivalry. Liverpool do too. But with United, any supporter can hate them. Yeah, it's because of what I said. It's because they were so good back in the day. When I say back in the day, like when I was younger. It was annoying. Hey, pal, you're back on live stream. How you been doing? I've been okay, thank you. Mark, how are you? Liverpool versus Burnley is a Lancashire derby. We don't really count it as a derby. Corner comes in, headed away. Liverpool isn't in Lancashire, is it? Golden Clover, thanks so much for hitting the subscribe button, man. I really appreciate it. Really nice of you. Cheshire. It's sort of its own thing, but it would be more Cheshire, wouldn't it? Joshua, thanks so much for tuning in. What do you think? What score do you think the game will end? So I went at the start of the game. I went 1-0 to Leicester. So I'm expecting quite a cagey game. In 2018-19, the season, everyone didn't want Liverpool to win the league to the point it became a meme. It never seemed such a movement against one team. Success. But you didn't win the league, did you? If I remember correct, you lost out by 1 point. So obviously won it the season after. It's because Liverpool legend. Liverpool are so good. If Liverpool were like where they were under Roy and just mid-table and crap and had bad players, they would just have nobody would care. They'd be irrelevant as far as, it's like, they're obviously a lot of people hate them because of history, but they wouldn't be as relevant in the Premier League titles and stuff, because I didn't really care for Liverpool, and then Klopp went in and I really enjoyed watching Liverpool. And then they became really, really good, and when teams become really good, that's when it's a problem. Nobody would hate City anywhere near as much if City were finishing where Everton finish. It's because they spent the money and they become good. And they have one of the best managers in the world. I think 1 or 2-0 to Leicester. Yes, I think Leicester will win as well. I feel like they need to maybe do a little bit more like transfer business just to try and rejuvenate the squad after missing out on Champions League. That's just my opinion. I don't watch Leicester every week, so if you're a Leicester fan, you might have a difference of opinion. Liverpool deserve to win the league. 30 years is too much for a huge team like them. They deserve to win the league. They did absolutely fantastic. They were miles in front of everyone else. There's nobody can say they didn't deserve to win the league, because that would be totally wrong. The most hated team is non-hated team is probably like Southampton or Sheffield. Yeah, Sheffield United in particular. They're just a nice team. Just a nice team. A bit like Bournemouth. Just, Bournemouth play nice football. Small club. Who hates Bournemouth? They don't really have any rivalries either, because Pompey and Southampton have each other. Brighton is too far away, really. So, I'm good. Okay, thank you, mate. Except I've just been told a few people in my family that they have coronavirus. This is all we need after my nan passed. And besides that, what a result for Leeds last. Yeah, great game. I'm okay. I'm glad you're okay. Sorry to hear that some of your family have tested positive for coronavirus. I think what you need to bear in mind is the recovery rate is very, very, very high, and we know more about the virus than we did back in March when it sort of kicked off here, and then April when it was really at its prevalence, coming from April to May. Now we know a bit more, and it makes sense to know more, because we've and cases of admissions to hospital are so low. So it's good to keep that all in mind. I had a scare of it. Somebody I live with had some symptoms of coronavirus, so we've been in self-isolation for a few days, but the results have come back negative, which is very, very good. I doubt anyone hates Mount Hereford. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Cheltenham really hate us, and back in the day, Worcester did as well. Newport, Shrewsbury, Kidderminster for some reason, even though we've never really touched paths until recently. I don't know. Yeah, so Timothy has making his Premier League debut. I don't really know much about him. However, Atalanta have some really, really good players, and they bring through so many good players. But I feel like there is a sort of an expectation on him for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's replacing Chilwell. So like for like. And number two, he is coming from a line of players that seem to be, I would say out of 100 players that Leicester sign, they get 60-70% spot on. So usually they're quite successful. So I'm expecting him to do quite well, to be fair. Make me laugh how many people are saying Leeds are their second team. I don't know. I feel like that won't be the case in that won't be the case in a year or two when Leeds are like a firm staple in the Premier League and their fans are back in the stadium. How nice would it have been to see the Leeds fans going absolutely berserk when Click scored the equaliser to make it 3-3. That's what was really missing from this game. The atmosphere would have been fantastic. Leeds travel in enormous numbers, so that would have been really, really good to see. But unfortunately, that did not happen. But it's better to be safe. I don't even know for my drink. For those that are new, this is my drink of choice. I drink too much of it, but I have also got squash as well. So what I did, I used to have 2 cans of Coke or Pepsi when I was doing my streams. Now I only have 1 and I have squash. So small method. Do you know what happened to me yesterday? For those that don't know, I follow a vegan diet. I'm vegan, and we ordered some vegan chicken burgers from one of the restaurants near us. And when I got home, I was putting it on the plates and stuff, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, that is different to what I usually say. Have you ever had breaded chicken steaks? That's what the burger looked like. But yesterday when I picked it up, it looked like like KFC sort of coating. That's what it looked like, and I was like, that's weird. And then I put my girlfriend's on the plate, and then I put mine on the plate, and I lifted the lid, and I thought, this isn't the usual dressing that it usually has. So I looked on the receipt and it said chicken burger instead of vegan chicken burger. So we rang up and luckily they replaced them for us. But that was not good. Mike, don't understand. Oh, sorry, I've missed a message from Golden Clover. Leeds only lost yesterday because of the errors that caused penalties, honestly. Yes, absolutely. The game would have played out a little different, and that's what we need to keep in mind with everything that sort of way. It would have played out a little bit different. However, it would have they're probably right. They would have probably got at least a draw. I can't imagine they'd have won the game, but I think they've got a draw, which is absolutely fantastic. Don't understand Blaze buying striker abroad and then loan him out. It's because they signed him because they think he would be a good fit in the future. However, he's not ready for the first team, so loaning him out would allow him to have experience. A bit like Sarr, who's at Chelsea, has done the same thing. Gideon Morethi, thanks so much for hitting the subscribe button, man. I really do appreciate it. I did say the message wrong. I meant it was a good game for Liverpool. I thought we would have lost that, but a well-deserved win. I know. A really good game, really good game. That's what I want to see. It's really what I want to see. You know, it's what we want to see in the Premier League. We want to see good games, high quality, and we want to see goals, and that's what we got. Unfortunately, when a game has loads of goals in it, the defending's not going to be the best. If they'd have both defended to their best, it would have probably been 2-1 or something. So So we need to keep that in mind. There were pens that were caused from mistakes from new signings. Not to mention Salah still had to stuck those away under pressure. Yeah, I mean, very, very cool. Very cool. Very cool indeed from those situations. But yeah, he's taking the penalties and he's scoring them, and that's great for Liverpool. So it's every no matter how you score, it doesn't matter if you score from 60 yards or the goalkeeper scores or you score a free kick or you score a tap-in or you score a penalty. They all count as one. So it doesn't really, as long as you're scoring, it doesn't really matter. Newcastle squad looks alright. Mike Wilson added the cutting edge to their team. I haven't actually watched the highlights of that. I didn't finish watching the highlights of that game, but I am thinking that will be alright for Newcastle. Yeah, as Golden Claver says, Jamal Lewis as well, who is likely to go on and have a good career in the Premier League for sure. Ryan Fraser as well, who's got loads of Premier League experience. I think they've added quite wisely to their side. Don't like his new haircut. I prefer his new haircut. I prefer short hair on anyone, really. Like males. I think it looks a lot better. But unlike females, I don't really... my girlfriend has long hair, so... West Ham are going down. It's not a good start for West Ham. I know Newcastle have gone down and Leeds have gone down. Pratt back to the goalkeeper and Sam Johnson puts it away. So I know that big clubs have gone down in the past, but could you imagine a 60,000 seater stadium in the Championship? It would be so weird. I think Max score 1-0 Leicester, no over goal. I think Max score 1-0 Leicester. That's what I said, Moxie Gamer. Thanks so much for tuning in, dude. West Ham are shocking. They sold Dean Garner, and there was a lot of backlash about that because I watch West Ham Fan TV. I don't know if any of you watch West Ham Fan TV. West Ham Fan TV are not the biggest. They're not the biggest channel when it comes to like football fan channels, but they're really, really nice people. And here's Perez out wide to Pratt. There's a good chance. Crosses it in, and it's a good save from Johnston, and back again, and Johnson. I think that was Harvey Barnes with the shot. Great chance for Leicester. Probably should have done a little bit better, in my opinion. So I can't remember what I was saying. The stadium was brought to West Ham into Europe. It's not even funny, but I was talking about West Ham Fan TV, and they hate the owners. And it's never a good system. If you hate the owners, then it's only going to go one way. It's very hard to get them back, and they did get them back a little bit a couple of seasons ago when they had Manuel Pellegrini, and then he brought in Hilaire and some other players. But now they're not investing again, and I understand coronavirus. I get it. My club is really struggling because of coronavirus. However, you are a multi-million-pound football club and multi-millionaires that can afford to spend a bit and don't have to be selling players with potential like Dean Garner to bring players in. You bet on Leicester or West Brom. I said Leicester to win 1-0. Dana, I think that's tune in, or Dana. 4-2, you go to Leicester. That should have been a goal. Definitely. But it was obviously straight at him. Oh, hard to do, but I think he should have done a bit better. Here was James Justin. Pulls it back to Harvey Barnes. Great chance. Straight at him, and he shoots wide. 2 chances for Harvey Barnes there in quick succession, and he missed them both. Quite like Harvey Barnes. Really like Harvey Barnes. So, Mike, I have to ask this question, and I know it's early to say, but who do you think will win the Premier League? I'm obviously going to say Liverpool. I don't know. I really, really don't know. It's so early to tell because the transfer window isn't shut, And that's a big thing, because I could say Liverpool are going to win it, and then City could sign Koulibaly, and that could change everything. They bring in a world-class centre-back, plays in Vincent Kompany, and that could change things. I think Liverpool will be close again, is what I'm predicting. Didn't Harvey Barnes play for West Brom? Yes, he was on loan for 6 months there when they had him and Dwight Gale. They finished in the playoffs under Darren Moore, and then he was sacked for some reason, and they brought in Jimmy Shan, who is now manager of Solihull. Don't know why they did that, but they finished in the playoffs and they lost to Aston Villa, who got promoted, of course, and then they brought in Slaven Bilic as the replacement for Moore, and they got promoted. So yes, he did play for them, and he did very, very well. Very well. He scored a lot of goals, and he was actually recalled, I think. Salah getting a hat-trick on the first match of the season is crazy. It's happened before. I seem to remember not somebody scoring a hat-trick, but I remember Man City played Swansea in 2011, the season they won the title, the 93-20 goal, the Aguero goal. And Aguero, I think he scored one or set two up, or scored two and set one up. He was absolutely electric, and it was his debut as well. But yeah, really, really good start to him. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City to win the league. Yeah, I think it will be one of those. I don't see it being Chelsea. I just feel that Frank isn't at that level yet. I must say your knowledge on the lower leagues is impressive. It's because I didn't pay much. I didn't do as much. I didn't pay enough attention to the leagues last year, because I had the move, and then we had the coronavirus and things. I didn't, and I really, I'm going to admit that. However, what I do have is a very, very good memory because of my autism, and this allows me to know a lot about a lot of things. I don't know a lot about like League 2 and stuff, but I do have quite a good knowledge, which is really, really handy. It really is handy supporting like a team that's not very good, because you get to learn more about like the higher leagues and stuff. However, I would like to see how everything in the Football League, so I could get a better knowledge of Leagues 1 and 2, because I can watch the National League, and I do watch the National League, and I keep up to date with the National League. I really like the National League, everything in the National League North, but Leagues 1 and 2 is quite hard to come by unless I watch like the EFL and Quest. Chelsea will come third behind Liverpool and City, but I think they'll have a good chance at 21-22. Yeah, I'm sort of on board with what you're saying there. Chelsea fans have been very confident of their chances. I can understand that. There's a lot of things that we don't know, like will they all gel if the players they've signed? Is Thiago Silva okay to be playing in the Premier League at the age of 36? Those sort of things will be answered in the first few weeks. And they're signing that Mendy from Rennes. So the last goalkeeper they signed from Rennes was, of course, Peter Cech, who is a Chelsea legend and is still at the club after a short time away at Arsenal, now in a non-playing capacity, of course. I can't see Chelsea win the league, but I think it'll be between City and Liverpool. Yes, I feel like that's the sort of consensus of everyone. Besides, Chris Waddle thinks Man United will win it. Vardy with chance straight at the keeper again. Another chance that's gone straight at the goalkeeper. Very, very well worked by Vardy, whose hair is flat today and he looks really weird. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to get involved in the chat. I'd love to hear what you have to say. He is offside there. Kind of miss Vardy in England. I feel like he added a different dynamic. Which matches will we be streaming? Just in general, I used to do like a schedule. So I would post on a Monday which ones I streamed. This is when I streamed regularly. And I stopped that because, and then I'm hoping I might do one later. It all depends on how it goes with this, because talking constantly and like showing enthusiasm and stuff and going really, I could answer a question like which games are you streaming, and I'd be like, stream one later. But I like to show a bit more enthusiasm to that. So I talk quite a lot and the mouth gets quite dry. So if I'm okay, I might stream the other one, but it's unlikely. I probably will do a stream tomorrow. So yeah, I'm hoping to do a lot more streams and a lot more videos. I said to my girlfriend, and I said on stream yesterday, I'm going to really make a go of it. Few Vardy misses, don't want him near the boot again. To win it at that age, it's pretty impressive. Especially coming up the leagues, of course. Why Newcastle United famous in the world is it is not win the trophies. So Newcastle have always been like a fairly big side, not been a massive side, but they were in the Champions League in 2004 under Bobby Robson. And if you've watched the film Goal, that's interesting. So they were in the Champions League as well, and they fell out. But they're such a big club because they have such a big attendance. And Newcastle is one of the few cities that only has one club. So like Leeds only has one club, but Manchester has two, Liverpool has two, Bristol has two, London has multiple, Birmingham has two, and then like some smaller ones like Warsaw and stuff like that. So this allows them to have a massive fan base. Got Vardy and Soyuncu in my fantasy team. Better get me some points. Right, okay. So there is a new person that I've been speaking to. He commented on my Instagram and we were chatting. His name is Talking Arsenal. He's recently rebranded his channel. So feel free to go and check him out on YouTube. Really nice. He's obviously an Arsenal fan, so keep that in mind. But really nice. It's always been really nice to me when I've chatted it. So if you haven't already and you fancy some Arsenal content, definitely the person to go to. So go and check him out. He's only got around 100 subscribers, so it'd be nice to really help him out and get him on the way to 200, 250. That'd be really good. I stay getting the stream getting live stream if I'm not working. Brilliant. So when are Man United playing their first game? In fact, what about City? So they're both playing next week. This is due to them having a bit of a rest after being involved in Europe. Man United's first game is Crystal Palace at 5:30. So that's Saturday. Right, thank you for that. Everyone hates them. I think Leicester have been the better side in the first half, in my opinion. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. No problem. I really do try to help out people that content I think is really good and people that support me, and I think I really do try and help people out. Liverpool are Man United impersonators, always copied our philosophy. This song's really weird. I'm going to change it. So all of the if any of you have a channel and you want to use music in the background, there's a bloke called Harris Heller who is from the YouTube channel Alpha Gaming, and he does like loads of like live streaming tips. So he does loads of live streaming tips, and feel free to go and check him out. But he's like a massive channel, but he has a collection of music called Stream Beats, and they're on like everywhere. So that's what I use for my music, if anyone is wondering. Both Liverpool United fans can't attack each other for supporting others, supporting hated clubs. Please try not to swear. If you accidentally do it, then I'm gonna allow it, but it's good for you not to swear. If you like swear every single sentence, then I'd probably get quite annoyed. So free kick to Leicester, getting it out wide. Headed away, I think that was Harvey Barnes. Here is Romain Sawyers, who was originally at West Brom when he was younger in the academy. Shot is blocked. Comes out to Livermore. Livermore gets out wide. Here is Hegazi. Oh my god, I just realised something. I can put the team lineups in the... So there was a cross in. It was cross come shot, and it was saved by Kasper Schmeichel. Came out to Robinson, but he couldn't do it. You've been coping. Have you watched it? Anfield Agenda, mate. He swears in every sentence. Yes, I have watched Anfield Agenda a few times, and it seems really nice. But obviously, I'm not a massive fan, but I do of course know who he is. I could put the chat in the I could put the team lineups in the thing, so I don't have to. That's interesting. I might actually do that. That's something to keep in mind. Obviously, none of you care about that because it doesn't affect you, but just what interesting I could stumble across. So 42 minutes in, it is still 0-0. I wasn't expecting a lot of goals. Profanity is a lack of vocabulary. I try not to swear. A lot of people, right? I have lived with my girlfriend's sister and her husband for 12 months. We've moved in 12 months ago this month, so over 12 months now. And they are always surprised when I swear because it's so weird to hear me swear. So I don't swear a lot. Chris, thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. How are you doing? I saw you having a little bit of banter with Ray off City Fan TV, is he now? Because he left Man City Fan TV. I did see that. Liverpool Agenda, I don't have time, pal, just know. So he's... so Anfield Agenda is... What would you say? Can't take banter. Like I said, I've never watched him, but... I don't know much about him. So how is everybody coping with the new restrictions coming in tomorrow of 6 people? I'm good. I'm glad you're okay, dude. Disappointing result for Carlisle on yesterday. I watched a little bit of BT Sport Score, and I watched a little bit of Gillette Soccer Saturday. I'm not sure which one I'm going to stick with. I used to watch BT Sport Score, then I've always swapped between the two, you know. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with. Could have been worse, Chris. You could have been Southend, who got beat by Harrogate. Really, really impressive result for them. Very boring game. So I guess Leicester will bring a full first team next half. I'll see what they've got on the bench. I'm gonna pop it in. I'm gonna dock the team lineups. That's such a clever idea. No, I want it. I don't want it there. I want it in here. That's it. That's not how I wanted it, really. That's it. That's perfect. I'm such a genius. Right, okay. So on the bench is Grzycki. They've got Raheem Harper. They've got Hal Robson-Carnu. I'm reading out the wrong team. Sorry. So Leicester substitutes. You've got Maddison you could bring on. You've got Iheanacho. Chowdhury or Brighton could come on and change it. So there is options. Right. Hang on. I'm all about with the results. Birmingham lockdown. I'm in Birmingham. That is bad, man. Hopefully it goes okay. But yeah. My friend Jack is from Bolton, and they're in a similar situation as well. BRB. Okay, Richie. We are eat your equals, and we certainly don't copy you. Usain Chunks now works for Sky Sports and saying that YouTubers are now breaking into mainstream TV. It's brilliant. There is already a few who work for them. I think they've on the Saturday Social half time. It is 0-0 at the break. There is, Sam Tomlinson, I want to say, who works for Sky. He was at least, or still is, involved at Football Daily, so he's involved there as well. I've never heard of Chunks before the Soccer Aid. How is your job in Alfie? Jobs, It's hard getting up so early. I really do struggle with it, but it's not too bad. Alfie's doing okay. He's asleep. I am doing my GCSEs. I talked about this yesterday. I got into the English one. I have my maths assessment on Tuesday. So that is something that's going on with me. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mike, how are you? And how are the stats for this match? Oh, no, I've got the stats up here as well. This is fantastic. I'm such a genius. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Lenny. How are you? 66% possession to Leicester, as you would expect. 6 attempts on target. 6 attempts, to West Brom's 4, and 3 of those have been on target for Leicester. West Brom have yet to register a shot on target. 2 shots off goal. I'd say Leicester have been the better side, if I'm being honest. Liverpool legend, I can't wait. Right, okay. My other team, Liverpool, win cheered me up a bit. Wasn't happy with the team defensively. It was pretty poor. Positioning wise, they did show it on Match of the Day and it looked really, really poor. I was very surprised at how open the game was. It wasn't what I was expecting from Liverpool at all. How did you find this game on Sky? So it's on Sky Sports Premier League and main event. Oh no, you don't like Craig. That's interesting. This game is a bit meh. At least you get to chat to me. Maddison and Chelsea to replace Mendy and Pratt, I think. Maddison is cert. He definitely needs to come on. Chunks and Young Philly are funny guys. Really, I really don't know who any of these people are. I know that makes me sound like a dinosaur. It makes it sound like a dinosaur, doesn't it? I don't know who any of these people are. That's good because I bet on away on your prediction for my accumulator. All right. Probably wouldn't go with my results. Why do people in Liverpool give a Liverpool a dipper nickname? Okay, so it is actually quite offensive. So if you don't know, so basically it is referring to the term bin dipper, which means basically what they're saying is that people from Liverpool who normally are from backgrounds that aren't as affluent as places like London, I think that's fair to say, that they go into bins to try and find something to eat, which is horrible. It's very, very disgusting, and I don't like it used, so please don't use it in this chat. But yeah, that's where it comes from, similar to the whole eating rats, since it's not nice. That is why. So I didn't understand it either. So it's not something I particularly subscribe to. I ignore people saying that. The thing is, there are so many places that have unaffluent areas. Like where I'm from has them. Exeter is pretty nice, but there are some rougher areas. And you get people who struggle for money everywhere, and those people need to be supported, not laughed at. If Leicester don't continue to play well, I think they might draw. Yeah, I can see that sort of. If we look at their last 5 games, taking away the friendlies, there was 2 wins and 3 defeats, and those wins were against Sheffield United and ignore that. There was 1 win and 1 draw, and 3 defeats in the last 5 games. So they're really out of form. Obviously, it's a new season, so that's something we need to keep in mind. Are you still a City fan? You haven't said much about them. Yes, definitely, 100%. I just say that I follow them because I don't want loads of questions about how often you go and stuff. Because now I live in Devon, it's a long jaunt to Manchester. So yeah, and Hereford are my team. So and I like the idea that I can remain impartial in some of these situations. My prediction was West Brom 1, Leicester 2. So you're still thinking Leicester would win, similar to me. Which makes sense. Let's see if I got any messages. Don't know why, but when I stream, my watch doesn't go off. The notifications. Which is really annoying. So where was I? Leicester haven't been good since pre-lockdown, but have been worse post-lockdown or post coming back. I assume what you mean. Just like Liverpool. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They have been pretty poor this year. I think the wheels started to come off. They were playing at such a level. Darren Moore is in the in the studio. Really like Darren Moore. Really like Darren Moore. West Brom doing an amazing job so far, not conceding. I'm still thinking that West Brom will struggle. I haven't seen anything to think, you know what? They might be all right. So Leicester should win. Really more attacking threat for me. Yeah, definitely. They've got a lot more going forward. If we have a look at the attacks, you've got Robinson, Pereira, Diangana, and then Perez, Vardy, and Barnes, as well as having Tielemans and Pratt who can get involved as well. So really, it's a lot better. But having said that, they have Hal Robson-Kanu and Charlie Austin on Charlie Austin in particular, and Hal Robson-Kanu really would be a different way of playing, if that makes sense. Leicester haven't been good since City beat them 3-1. It's hard to keep it. That meant it's so many times. Sheffield United did something similar. They were fifth for ages and eventually just slid away. And it's just because they just run out of gas. Because playing at that level is hard all the time. Even Liverpool, who are one of the best Premier League teams of all time, and I think that's no exaggeration because of how many points they've accumulated in the last 2 seasons. They were running out of gas at the end, and I know they'd already won the league, and that did have an effect. So I've got 1-1 for Spurs Everton, but it could go either way. Did you see Leeds had 11 goals put past them in 2 games? That's the under 21, so isn't it? They lost to Accrington, I think. Spurs 3-2, so you're expecting Spurs to win 3-2. That'd be a great game. For me, Kanu is underrated. He did really well for Wales in 2016 when he was unattached, which is kind of weird. I want West Brom, West Ham, and Leeds to go down. So you want. I don't think Leeds will go. The other 2, I think, will be struggling. I'm still sure West Brom will get relegated anyway, unless VAR doesn't count a goal for Sheffield when they play each other. Once it happened and once they moved on, but you can't go back and allow a goal. Once the ball's out of play and it's restarted, you can't go back and allow the goal. And it was only really uncovered, but it all looked a little weird at the time. But if you're AFC Bournemouth, you are annoyed. I can't believe that was allowed to happen. But in all fairness to it, it's only gone wrong once. We've had it for years. And years. It's only gone wrong once. It's okay. Leicester form drops off dramatically after Christmas. Hi, thanks so much for tuning in on Unloosing Lion. I really do appreciate it. Nick, how is it down there in League One? I went 1.5 goals. That does make sense. Spurs 1-0 or the other way around. Interesting. Wilson was a steal for 20 million for Bournemouth. If he gets service, he'll get 15 goals this year. He's aging though, isn't he? He's not getting any younger. That's one of the reasons. If he was Aki's age and scored a few more goals, he would have gone for obviously a lot more money. Mark, thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Nick, I did see that you were playing Wigan, and I watched a little bit of it, and you look quite good, to be fair. I heard that Paul Lambert's got like a 5-year contract, which seems a bit bizarre to be handing out one of those bad boys. It's like that time Mike Ashley gave Alan Pardew an 8-year contract. That was only signed off for was it this year or last year? Nuts. Should never give more than 3 or 4 years, especially in the lower leagues. Who are Leeds' rivals besides Manchester United? I'm guessing Chelsea, Huddersfield, the 2 Sheffield teams are there anymore. So I think geographically, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, Bradford is the closest team. And Bradford were in the Premier League. I'm sure some of you can remember Bradford in the Premier League many moons ago. However, they have been lounging in like League 1 and 2. So they haven't played each other for a while. But that's what my guess would be. Oldest in that team was 17. 5 year. I can't believe it. It's somebody in West Supermare, who beat Hereford yesterday, had given one of their players a 3-year contract, which is absolutely ridiculous for that level. He's 31. He ain't going to go anywhere. Millwall, that's a good one as well. Obviously, that's quite a long distance, so that's more of a... It's not like a local thing, is it? Only got 3 left. Still a lot of money to pay someone off, though, isn't it? It's a real big amount of money. So much money if you haven't, if you're struggling in. Really appreciate the support on the stream. I really do appreciate everyone tuning in. If you haven't already, feel free to leave a like. I would appreciate it. I'm thinking about having memberships on the channel. I think I've said this before, so that is something to consider if you're interested in it. But I'm not sure when I'll get round to doing it. I have some good news. So the last couple of streams I've done, there's actually been really loud music coming from outside, and I've had to. This is why the music originally came in, the music in the background, just because I didn't want to get a copyright strike. Obviously, the chances of that happening is slim, but you never know. However, he's going to join the army next month, apparently. So that means he's going to be in the army. He ain't going to be next door. So that means I'll be able to. Garfield Hemming, thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button, man. Very kind. So yeah, it makes sense for me to be very happy about that. Liverpool versus Leeds used to be good in the 60s and 70s during the Shankly Revy era. You also got the Community Shield game that got violent. They were good under Revy, weren't they? Because I watched the Damned United, because obviously my history of the 60s is non-existent, but I watched the Damned United, so I can fill in a few blanks for myself there. I think Scotland may come for him. They pay his contract out. Interesting. Because Steve Clark's there at the moment, isn't he? There will be no fans this year. I hope we get fans back in October, even if it's limited. I've been a massive advocate for having it staggered. Oh, I missed my buddy Stan goal. Oh, I'll have to just do the next one. So I am concerned that it's going to be really, really limited. However, I don't want to talk about COVID all the time, but it does seem like the vaccine is back on track, which is amazing. The Oxford vaccine, what do they call it? Chaddock's 1. So that sounds positive. So that's really, really good news. That's where Dirty Leeds come from. Debut for Doherty, maybe. Yes. Yeah, I'm really surprised Wolves let him go 15 million. So cheap. I think they're trying to get rid of maybe Aurier's on his way out. I think they've got rid of Kyle Walker-Peters. He's gone to Southampton, hasn't he? So there is. They got somebody else who plays there, or is it just those two? Because they had Trippier, but obviously he went a few years ago, didn't he, to Atletico? Clough replacing Revy at Leeds is like if Wenger resigned in 2006. And prime Chelsea, Jose Mourinho came in to replace him. Yeah. I mean, I've only watched the film, so my knowledge is very, very scarce. But we could do with something like Brian Clough managing England. I feel like that would be the difference between a trophy and not. I think the problem is those who travel, which is a lot with some teams, so fans could bring it back and forth. I think the plan, Nick, will be to not allow away fans. I'm not sure if they'll have it or not, but I think the plan will be very, very limited numbers. You think 15%? If you have 1,000, that's only 150 that could, or 300. That seems quite a lot. I think it'll be very, very limited numbers. Tottenham, Arsenal, Europa League final I'm predicting, but depends on a team who dropped in the Champions League group stages. The Europa League is the hardest thing to predict because there's so many teams that could go into it that aren't in originally. However, if you think anyone but Sevilla are going to win it, you are wrong. There's only home fans allowed this year. Yeah, I thought that was the case. Right, we're getting ready for the second half. They're all ready to go. We're just waiting for the whistle. It's weird seeing all the stadiums empty still. Hopefully I'll get used to that. I've got to change this automatically. I didn't realise that. So those eagle-eyed people will notice that I put a hashtag before half. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. It makes sense to try and keep everyone safe. That's just my opinion, though. Bob Taylor, Jesus Christ, I haven't heard of him. I actually saw Bob Taylor play for Tamworth. A lot of Man United Leeds fans don't live there. They may be London or further. I meant all have season tickets. I see what you mean. There's no way of really policing that, though, is there? So there's no way of policing that, unfortunately. Remain Sawyers. Plus, you're allowed to travel wherever you want now in the country, aren't you, really? So it's not like it's a thing that is not allowed. People can travel to Manchester from London if they want to, as long as there's no COVID restrictions, of course. I can go home. I can go to Scotland, I think. I can go to Sunderland if I wanted to. People from Sunderland can go to Brighton. There's no real restrictions on that kind of thing. People who live in London can go to Barnard Castle and Durham if they want to, and have been allowed to do since the start of lockdown. According to FM19, Leeds rivals are Manchester United, Galatasaray, Chelsea, Millwall, Liverpool, the two Sheffields, Bradford City, Huddersfield and Cardiff. Millwall, Liverpool and Cardiff in there confuse me. I'm not sure on Cardiff. Millwall and Leeds have always had like a thing. If in Leeds they are only allowing season ticket holders in the first, that makes sense. I think that's going to be the case. But Leeds have a higher season ticket holders than, let's say, Accrington Stanley. Do you know what I mean? So it'll probably be just season ticket holders anyway, because they won't have any tickets to sell. It just depends how many tickets they are allowed. Because you might have a case, say, you have 5,000 tickets allowed to sell, but you have 6,000 season ticket holders. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to Ipswich Monday to pick up my vouchers from season for not finishing. £90, so buy a new shirt. That's nice. I think Hereford had a scheme where you could have money back if you wanted it, or you could just give it back to the club. And a lot of people just give it back to the club. I didn't have a season ticket for obvious reasons, so I wasn't partake in that. But as it's already gone, I would have probably just let them have it. James Justin with the cross, blocked, headed away, and it will be a Leicester throw-in. James Justin is going to take the throw, but he's being pushed back. Here is Tielemans. Came in on loan, looked crazily good. Millwall because past Leeds and Sevilla crew. And Lions crew. Right. Any idea on Cardiff? Not sure on Cardiff. That is weird. Might be like another similar thing. Soyuncu. James Justin. Sorry if you can hear Alfie. Ipswich have around 9,000 season ticket holders, 31,000 ground. So 15% is fine for us. Is it? Because 15% isn't anywhere near 9,000. 30% would be 9,000. Shh, boy. I've got Kieran Gibbs is at West. He wants to go to the toilet. No, I think he just heard. Alf, you alright, boy? Alright. Hey. I think he just wants to. I think he just must have heard some noise outside. That's what he usually does. A third can go back. Yes, so that would be just on the nose, really. Corner comes in, away by Bartley. And Dean Garner's going to see that out for a West Brom throw. Putting Liverpool and Leeds rivals is a big stretch, but understandable. We were kind of close and clashing in the late 60s and 70s. Cardiff, they were strange. I'll Google it and see if anything comes up. See what comes out. I'm really not sure. Doesn't say, it just says renewing an old rivalry. Not sure, really not sure. Leeds rivals the whole country. Does seem that way. Because I remember, I don't know if any of you heard of Borough Fan TV, but there's a guy on there called AJT, and he didn't like Leeds at all. But I'm not sure if any of you will know what I'm talking about. It's a dog barking outside. Alfie! Sorry, there's a dog barking next door, and sometimes he gets wound up by it. You're welcome, Nick. Keep up the good job. Who's Nick? Do you mean me? Thanks so much for the subscribe. Either way, Garfield. Here is Jake Livermore. It's a warm day, isn't it? Very warm. Need to put the aircon on after I'm done. There's no rivalry there. It's just AJT doesn't like anyone. Yeah, pretty much. Here is Pratt. Pratt goes out wide to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes back to Pratt, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. Very, very well shielded off by, I think that was Bartley. What's your name? It's Mike. M-I-K-E. Existing, thanks so much for tuning in, dude. How you doing, my friend? No, I just said that. You can't type in their names to find their channel, which is really annoying. And FM, West Ham is one of Chelsea's fierce rivals. Never met a Chelsea fan who cared about West Ham, so I guess Football Manager 2019 isn't the best judge. Weird. Padster, thank you for tuning back in. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's weird. I guess it's just because of location. Dara O'Shea to take this throw-in. Headed away by Leicester. Vardy. And it's away again by Bartley. Messi or Ronaldo? Messi. Hal Robson Khan, who's getting his shirt on. He will be joining us shortly. Could be Callum Robinson, or maybe they're going to go two up front. Yeah, I definitely prefer Messi. Who does everyone else prefer? I'm always Messi. Always Messi. Here is the goalkeeper. Schmeichel gives it to Soyuncu, who I think Soyuncu will become a very, very good player in the future. Do you think Messi been playing mind games to get more money? No. No, I do genuinely believe he wanted to leave. Ayoze Perez. Pratt. Messi's probably the GOAT now. It's amazing what both of them have achieved. Headed away by Gibbs. Ayoze Perez picks it up. Out wide to Justin. Justin to Pratt. And it's cut back. Great chance. And it's in the back of the net. Timothy Castagna has scored. I didn't recognise the number. It's Castagna with a goal, who signed from Atalanta, the replacement for Ben Chilwell. Great goal, and it is 1-0 to Leicester. Pratt does really, really well. Crosses it back. Two players there. Vardy can't get to it, and there was Castagna to make it 1-0. Is he? He said right back. Oh, he is playing right back. Ah, ignore everything I've said. So 1-0 to Leicester, which was my prediction, which means it's going to get a little bit boring if I'm the, if that's the prediction. Hope they don't draw. They look the much better side. That's okay, Garfield. I really do appreciate you subscribing. Said 1-0 as well. I said 1-0. A load of people said 1-0. Robinson's ball in for Albion. And Castagna. Oh, bit of a mix up there, but he gets it away eventually. Never be the best to take down another club. Maradona did. He will always be in the shadow. But he tried to leave. And may still leave. May still leave. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. Obviously, he'll be quite old then, so it might not be, you know, prime Messi numbers. But still, see him in the Premier League would just be unbelievable, wouldn't it? Because he's, you know, so talented. So talented. Showing the goal again. Very glad to have the opening goal. I like how FM added ability to make new rivals through the title races. Really cool addition, which makes it more realistic. Great for Road to Glory to see your club rivalry with the big boys too. Yeah, really good. Really good. Really good. James Berryman, thanks so much for tuning in. How you doing? Castagna, debut goal. Hendrick debut goal. And Wilson debut goal. Leeds scoring 3 and Salah hat-trick. The headlines so far. Yeah. Pratt with a shot. And that's behind for a corner. I'm good. I'm very well, thank you, James. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if they're headlines. I feel like Leeds game is the headline. But it's good to see players making an impact straight away in the Premier League. So corner kick to Leicester. Leicester starting to really get a good stranglehold of this game now. Messi will coming to Leeds on loan at the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, that feels like the next step. Hal Robson-Kanu is coming on for Callum Robinson. Welsh for Irish. So corner coming in from Tielemans. Tielemans ball in. And it falls to Bartley, who gets it away. But only as far as Tielemans. Tielemans still going. Tielemans puts it in. And it's away this time as well. But only up. And... oh, it's in. It's in. Is it counting? On offside. So what happened there was Barnes had a shot. It took a deflection. It went up, looped up in the air, and Perez, who was offside, tapped it in. It didn't need to, and it would have been 2-0. However, he did get that touch, and it's made it disallowed. He's well onside. He's well onside, isn't he? Oh, right, okay. So the shot comes in, it hits Vardy, and that's where the infringement is. And Jose wasn't onside at all. However, the goal will not stand due to that touch from Vardy. May have gone in anyway, but we'll never know. Messi would love a coach. Yes, he would love Bielsa as a coach. What's your score prediction? I predicted 1-1 for the Spurs-Everton game. Harvey Barnes is ball in. Kieran Gibbs picks it up. Dara O'Shea, and that's out for a throw-in to West Brom. Still an open game. Still got plenty of game left. Still got half an hour to go. O'Shea to take this throw-in. Livermore with a header. Dean Garner looking to make something happen. West Brom win it back. Here is Dean Garner. And he's put it out for a throw-in to Leicester. Messi to Wickham. Has to be. Messi coming to Carlisle. Yeah, I mean, I have heard rumours of Hereford, but I don't know. This could end 3-0. It could. But I don't see them scoring 3. I think they might get another one, but I think that'll be it. Livermore. To a J. Furlong. Back to the keeper. Johnson, who signed from Manchester United, I think he was on loan at Villa for the one season when they finished runners-up in the playoffs to Fulham. And then he signed for West Brom in the summer. Oh, Bartley comes in. Oh no, sorry, it's a J. Comes in very, very, very late there, and we'll be picking up a yellow card. Ipswich won. Was it 1-0 in the end? Do you think Thiago to Liverpool will happen? Well, there's somebody on YouTube. I'm not going to say who. Like, I really like their channel, but they were reporting earlier that Thiago has agreements with both Liverpool and Man United, which seems strange. I think it probably will, depending on how the season pans out. So if by then Liverpool are top, let's say, then they might not go in for him. But if they're like third or fourth and they're not had a great start, they might try and freshen up the squad. Fulham, West Brom and Villa to go down. Man City to win the league. Manchester United second, Liverpool third, and fourth Chelsea. Seems to be seeing the same sort of names be tipped for relegation. Tielemans shot, and that is put over the bar by Sam Johnson for a corner. Can't wait to see all this hype around Everton slowly fall apart as the club stale into 12th, with all the grumpy Everton fans making Goodison Park a horrid place. It's become routine. I don't think they're going to make that much of a difference. I think they'll be better. I think they'll probably be maybe like pushing for like top 6, but I don't think they're at that stage yet to take on the top 4. However, Leicester really got a good go of it last year, so maybe. Tielemans takes it short. James Justin puts it in. Away. Back to Ndidi. Ndidi to Castagna. Puts the ball forward. Headed away. Harvey Barnes loses the ball, but that will be a Leicester throw. 5th Arsenal, 6th Tottenham, and 7th. You think Leeds? That would be good for Leeds to finish there. I have a feeling Liverpool aren't going to spend because we're saving money for Mbappe. Out of contract soon, isn't he, Mbappe, I think? He'd have signed a 5-year contract. He signed in 2017. Be up soon. So that's something to think about. Brighton looks like he's coming on. Michael Brighton. So he's familiar with this sort of area. He was at Villa, so he knows all about Birmingham and surrounding areas. I mean, I'm biased, but I see Man United struggling and just settling for 4th. Yeah, I mean, I think they will be in the top 4. I think they'll probably come 4th. But if everyone agrees to the same prediction, it wouldn't be fun, would it? And we're never right, so we can always go as wild as we want. Which is great. But I can't see... I mean, Mbappe could go anywhere he wanted. Just a case of whether he wants to go to Liverpool. Because I don't think he would want to go to Liverpool. I think he'd want to go to Madrid or Barcelona if he goes anywhere. Jose Perez has come off, replaced by Mark Albrighton. Slaven Bilic is just bringing on a couple of players as well soon. Mbappe will go to Real Madrid, trust me. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a general consensus, but he might go to Barcelona or something like that. But I would imagine he'd be heading to Spain. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So Vardy is down after a clash with Sam Johnston. The real bottom 3 of the season, Man City, Chelsea and Man United. I can't see them finishing the relegation zone. That might be 1st, 2nd and 3rd. But I can't see Man United. It'd be nice if Man United got relegated, but I don't think they will. So Vardy is still down. Looks like he just collided with his leg. Chasing down a ball, trying to win the ball back. Pitchy actually lost the game in Ligue 1. Yeah, I see that. It was their opening game because they started a little later than everyone else, didn't they? Relegation 18th. Man City, Everton and Man United. Leeds, Fulham and Villa. Can't see Leeds going down. Maybe though. I didn't think Fulham would go down and they went down. So Kyle Edwards has come on for Romain Sawyers. So Romain Sawyers leaving the field and Kyle Edwards coming on. So Raheem Harper is coming on for Darnell Furlong, who didn't look too bad. So we've got 22 minutes left. We will see in 37 games. We sure will. We sure will. Hopefully the 37 games aren't as spread out as they were last season. I am hoping that by the time the season ends, we might be able to have more people in the stadium than 30%. When Leeds fall apart, they already do. Leeds will lose a couple of games in about December after a good start, and then everyone will be like, Leeds are falling apart. They're doing what they do every year. Guaranteed. This song's horrible. I'll turn this one off. Bartley heads back to the goalkeeper. Leeds are falling apart again. They did have a dip, but they managed to bring it back and win the title in fairly comfortable fashion. They won the last 5 or 6 games in a row. So they didn't fall apart to the extent they did the season before, of course. Right, boy. It looks weird having an AirPod in one and then just a random pair of headphones in the other. But so I can listen to the music and then have the game. Doesn't look great, but 25 minutes in, it's into the second half. It is for 70 minutes on the clock in total. It is 1-0 to Leicester. Ajayi looking to bring the ball forward. Robson Kanu. Pereira. Tielemans takes it away. Free kick to Leicester City. Every club will have a period where they fall apart all the time. Leeds, I think, have finished their current period. Yeah, I mean, I think they have as well. They're just getting ready for the Tottenham-Everton. Showing the Everton players. Just said James Rodriguez, Decore and Allen all start. So Lloris is in goal for Tottenham. This is the Tottenham-Everton game. Back four of Doherty, Alderweireld, Dyer and Davis. Højbjerg and Winks are in midfield. Lucas Moura, Ali and Son and Harry Kane up front, of course. Everton's line-up. Pickford is in goal. Coleman, Keane, Mina and Digne are the midfield. Decore, Allen and Gomez. And then a front three of James Rodriguez, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Best be over. It's been 16 long years. It has been 16 long years, but you're all better for it now. And you get to watch your team in the Premier League for the first time in a while. Barnes does really well. Barnes, and it's shot straight at the keeper, but really, really good play down the flank there. Vardy has gone down, and it's a penalty to Leicester. Not sure what happened there, so I will have to have a look. So Barnes did really, really well. Beats Ajayi, shoots, and then it's just what happens with Bartley. So, yeah, so he pulls him back there, Bartley, to stop the cross going in, an easy finish. Go Vardy, better take it. The fancy points. He usually does take them. Vardy will score, says Callum. It is Vardy. Put in the chat, score or miss. But score or miss if you think he'll score, but miss if you think he will miss. He's scored 4 of his last 5 penalties. Miss says Chris. Score says Talking Arsenal. Score says Liverpool Legend. Score says Rich. I want him to miss says Callum. Into the bottom corner. Into the bottom corner. He does this in front of the fans, but there's no fans. That's funny. So goal 2-0 to Leicester, and it is Jamie Vardy. So a lot of you are right. Liverpool legend talking Arsenal. Rich, professional gun, all said score, and he did score. And 2-0, and it looks like it's going to be comfortable. As Chris says, 3 points wrapped up for Leicester City. And it will be a victory on the opening day for Leicester unless something crazy happens in the final 15 minutes. Pratt is coming off. And James Maddison will be coming on. Your reaction, man. I thought he'd missed it. It was very, very, very wide. Very wide. So I thought it was going to go wide. So yeah, that's why I reacted in that way. But he did just get it in. It wasn't like off the post and in, but it was fairly close. Really good penalty. Pereira. I just realised something. I've been watching this game for 75 minutes. And I just realised I haven't got the fan reaction on. I've only got I've been watching it on with no crowd noise. So now I put the crowd noise on just for the final 15 minutes. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who's tuned in so far. I really do appreciate it. We've had several subscribers as well, which is really, really good. And I was expecting a victory for Liverpool. I was expecting a victory for Leicester. 1-0 I predicted, but 2-0 is the current score. Tielemans is fouled, and it will be a free kick to Leicester City. Pereira with the foul. 2 Pereiras, 1 for each team. However, Ricardo Pereira is out injured, so is not taking part for Leicester. Here is Kasper Schmeichel. Got my squash now. So Salah's got 3 goals. This is the top scorer chart. Vardy's got 1. Aubameyang's got 1. Wilson's got 1. Hendrick's got 1. Castagne's got 1. Lacazette's got 1. Gabriel's got 1. And Zaha's got 1. We still have, 3 games to play on the opening day? And City and United haven't played yet as well. I did get the England-Iceland prediction right. That was quite naff, wasn't it? Emiliano Martinez has left Arsenal for Aston Villa on a 4-year deal. Really good signing. He looked quite good, didn't he? Yeah, at the end, he looked quite good. So I feel like it's a step in the right direction. I feel like he could be a good asset for Villa. We had Pepe Reina at the end of the season. Then after Heaton got injured. Pereira. And Gibbs gets it away. Here is Diangana. Well taken down. And it's gone out of play. Stupid on Arsenal's part. I guess I would say, I'm not sure, I would guess he wants to play now. Because he's had a taste of playing first team football and he's really enjoyed it, and now he wants to play. So that's what I think maybe is why he's done that. I'm just going to shut the blinds a little bit because it's blinding me. Right, okay, so hopefully you can still see me okay. For me, it should have been a loan. Yeah, that would make sense, but did it say how much he went for? Because maybe it was quite a good deal for them and they want to invest the money. Because they have Matt Macy, don't they? I think he was on the bench last time. But yeah, I can understand it. I can understand it from both sides. Maddison out wide. Harvey Barnes. Hit it. Oh, just past the post from Harvey Barnes. Could have made it 3-0. Martinez expect Martinez to be first choice ahead of Heaton. Potentially two goalkeepers who would be able to do a job for both teams. For both. I mean, it should have been allowed 20 million. It was 16 million. 15 to 20 million. Right. Either way, that's quite a lot for somebody that's barely played, I think. Chicken burger is divide. I think that was autocorrect. 10 minutes to go. How Robson Carnu puts it out for a throw in. Chicken burger is divine. Yeah, it is. Well, obviously I've never had the chicken one, but the vegan one is really, really nice. So I was expecting it to be quite good. Tottenham Everton should be a close, tight game. So I went 1-1 in my predictions. I did, as I said previously, I have actually recorded predictions, but I didn't have time to edit it. So that's why there's not a chicken burger from where. So we have a place down here called Absurd Bird. They don't have many restaurants. They have one in Bath, they have one in Glasgow, they have one in Leeds, they have a couple in London. I think that's about it. They might have one somewhere else. But it does like chicken, and it does like some vegan chicken burgers, which are absolutely amazing. So yeah, but tonight we're having bolognese for tea. Martinez is good, but not as good as everyone thinks. He's been lucky that he came in and Mikel's got a good defence playing good. Yeah, I mean, Leno, it makes sense for Leno to be number one. And I heard some pundits being like, oh, it should be Martinez, but it makes sense for it to be Leno. Leno's more experienced. Leno's the original number one. Leno's the better goalkeeper. Leno's had, everything points in Leno's favour, so it makes sense. 1-1 for me too. 2-1 Tottenham, so you're expecting Tottenham to get the victory there. Do you know that person who said about the chicken burger? A bit of a weird comment to say. Yes, sorry, I live with her. So yeah, it would be really weird, but yeah, I do. She's my girlfriend's sister. They paid cash for Leno as well. Yes, yeah. I mean, they probably could have got a lot more money for Leno, but he's a better goalkeeper, so you should have your number one, the best goalkeeper. I was going to say if it was someone random. Yeah, it would be a bit weird, but yeah. My sister-in-law one day. Here's Tielemans. Indeedy. James Maddison. Just going to get rid of that comment. Not even going to bother. Not a Premier League match. PSV Eindhoven play soon. Your thoughts, if any? Don't have any thoughts. I don't watch Eredivisie. I'm not even sure. I think it's on Premier Sports now. I don't watch any. I have no idea. Beat me to it. Yeah. I have the chat, so you can't obviously see, but I have my what you're seeing now is on a screen, and then and around the edge I have the chat. I have the video to make sure it's like okay, and there's no buffering, and then I have the sources. That's how I get the GIFs and stuff on. So I have that, and then I have the scenes, and then on the side I have the recent events of people subscribing, so I can replay them if I wanted to, and then I have the lineups as well. I'm sorry, I missed a penalty. It's a penalty to Leicester, and I'm not even paying attention. Jamie Vardy to take score or miss. Get it in the comments. Jamie Vardy again. I think he'll score again, surely, won't he? It's Jamie Vardy. Score says professional gun. And he put same corner, a little bit higher this time. It is 3-0 to Leicester. And Leicester join Arsenal by winning three goals. Now they could get another one yet. And the worst is, It's not even been the best performance from Leicester. But nice penalty from Vardy. And they're just saying now he wouldn't have saved it if he'd have gone the right way. Brilliant from Vardy. And it is now game over for sure. For sure. And Vardy goes up to 2 goals in the Premier League so far this season. 2 pens in this game and 2 pens in the game at Liverpool as well. I have nothing about football to say, so I just wanted to support his stream. I promise I'm not a weirdo. Oh, that's kind. Vardy, the penalty merchant. Literally. So, we had an interesting lockdown. Didn't we, Shanice? It was all very, very weird. Oh, Brighton. But at least lockdown is over and now we can go out and stuff. Francis, thank you so much for tuning in. West Brom shot themselves in the foot. The thing is, if you give away 2 penalties, it's almost impossible to win the game. You have to score 3 times, which is already hard. Yeah, I mean, end of the day, if you get a penalty, you still got to put it in the back of the net, and that's what they do. Interesting indeed. It sure was. Oh, hang on, I've started playing the music accidentally. Why both pens? I honestly have no idea what happened in the second one. The first one, Vardy was like blocked off and like pulled back, but I didn't actually see what happened because I wasn't paying attention, which sounds really bad. Relegate Fulham and West Brom, they're so bad. It's early days. It's early days. It's early days. So much football to play, so many players to be brought in, so many players to go out. You know, but they don't look great. They don't look great. What would you do if a famous person moved in next to you? Well, Brighton. Shot is straight at Sam Johnson. Depends who the famous person was, Nick. Yeah, it depends who it was. Depends what kind of person they were, who they were, what my opinion of them was. I'd be surprised they wanted to move in next to me, but I mean, I do have 4,564 subscribers. Only got Soyuncu from Leicester on fantasy football team. Pereira's ball in. Comes to, I think that's Edwards. Blocked. Yeah, looks like he's going to keep a clean sheet, which is good. I mean, he hasn't put a foot wrong, but he hasn't really had much to do, to be fair. I just think this is going to sound quite harsh, but Robinson, and then you've got Charlie Austin and Robson Kanu. It's not exactly amazing going forward, is it? And that could be an issue. This is my personal opinion. Could be an issue. Here is all Brighton, and he's going to put it out, and I think he's given a foul. 3 minutes to go plus stoppage time. I'm looking forward to the game ending. I really need a wee. I couldn't imagine there'd be much stoppage time. I'd imagine it'd just be like a minute or so just to... But it's 3-0 down. There's no point really playing any extra time, is there? But having said that, what if... Look at that. Second half. Goals. West Brom, 0. Shots, 0. On target, 0. No wonder they're losing. 7 shots for Leicester. 4 on target, 3 goals. Obviously 2 of them are penalties. That's bad reading, man. That's bad. That's bad. I don't really understand how that works. I need to work out how it works. So Tottenham and Everton is coming up later. Personally, I think it will be a draw. That's what I've gone for in my predictions, but obviously it could be different. Monday Night Football, Brighton versus Chelsea. I think it's Sheffield United and Leeds. Sheffield United and Wolves, is the 6 o'clock kickoff on Monday evening before that Brighton-Chelsea fixture. Yeah, 1 minute to go, and then we should all be over. It's been. I expected Leicester to win the game. I wasn't expecting it to be so comfortable, to be fair. Sheffield United versus Wolves is a strange time. It was planned for a different time, but when they introduced all of them being put on TV, then they had to find a slot for it to go in. They didn't want basically overlaps. They didn't want like 3 or 4 games kicking off at 3 o'clock all on the TV. They wanted them spread out, so that's probably why. I think Everton could give Spurs a hard time. Yes, potentially. Definitely. Here is Pereira. Diangana. Brighton heads away. Kieran Gibbs. We're into added time. Comes to Harper. Edwards. 3 added minutes. Pereira looks to play in Diangana, but it's straight to the goalkeeper. It's just not happened for West Brom. If you have a look at the statistics real quick, 1 attempt on target for West Brom during the 90 minutes, which isn't good enough. 1 more goal possibly. Decided to finish on 33 goals. That's quite a lot. It's not the return that West Brom would have wanted. That's what, it's going to be really tough. I don't think there'll be another goal. I think they'll just play just for 3-0. They're just passing it around as we speak. But yeah, it makes sense to just hold on to it, not really do anything you don't need to. Oh, they've given it away. Diangana. Robson Kanu shot is high and wide. And, that's out for a goal kick. So thanks so much everyone who's tuned in. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate all the new subscribers as well, and everyone who has tuned in for the first time. It's really nice for you to all tune in. Timothy Castagna has been given man of the match by Don Goodman. So congratulations to him. Anytime, it's always fun. That's great. Thank you so much for tuning in, Rich and Lenny. We have a minute left to go. Diangana plays a 1-2, but it doesn't come off, and it's back into possession of Leicester. Been here since May 2019. Time goes quick since the Man City Watford 6-0. Yeah, my channel hasn't been. I haven't uploaded too much to my channel since then, which isn't great. Here's old Brighton. Great pass by Barnes, putting him through. He's going to cross it in. Decides against it. Here's Barnes. 20 seconds left. It's nice that you remember the first stream you watched. That's really cool. Suyunchu. Justin. Ndidi. And that is full time. It is finished 3-0 to Leicester. Goals from Castina and 2 goals from Jamie Vardy made it 3-0 to Leicester. And Leicester will go on and probably be looking for Europe again. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, I'd love a like and subscribe, of course, if you're new and you haven't finished. Thanks so much for having tuned in. Callum, Chris, Lenny, Rich, and everyone else who tuned in. Shanice, thanks so much for tuning in as well. Nick, and everyone else. And thanks so much for all the subscribers. I will just get their names. Garfield, Gideon, Golden Glover, Finley, and Barry. Thanks so much for all the subscribes. I will see you all very, very soon. And thank you so much for watching.